What is Michael Jordan and Danny Ainge's real relationship? We'll dig into what happened on and off the court in 4 decades of competition. To understand their relationship, you have to see what happened during their careers. The Ainge versus Jordan story. During his playing days, Jordan won 6 NBA titles, taking 2 of them at the expense of Ainge's Blazers and Suns teams. While people remember Jordan's greatness, they forget Ainge was no pushover.
And the father said, "That's Danny Ainge. He's one of the meanest guys in the league. He once bit a man's ear off." And, that's how stories get going. And I have no idea where that started, but...
After him, following this blow right here, and then he tackled the big fella right down to the floor. And during the fight that followed, Ainge had a hand up around the eyes, and when he lowered that hand...
Born in Eugene, Oregon, the birthplace of Nike, Ainge was the only person in history to be named first-team high school All-American for basketball, baseball, and football.
At one point in my life, I thought about playing college football and maybe college baseball would be a better combination. But then, basketball season started and my mind changed from week to week. But when I first got here to BYU and I was watching those teams play and pass the football, it was killing me. Like, dang, I could go out there and catch 15 passes maybe.
And they had to have known that Oregon offered you a scholarship to play receiver, right? Lavelle had to know that you were an All-American football player.
I was heavily recruited by BYU and Utah and Notre Dame and Michigan State. I was recruited by all the Pac-8 schools in that era for football, mostly as a receiver. Some recruited me as a safety, but most recruited me as a receiver.
So what was the difference maker? Why did you decide?
Like I said, basketball season started. And
it was just
my
better.
Heart changed, and maybe standing on the sidelines at an Oregon State football game and just seeing. I was like 6'4", 165 pounds, and I'm going like, oh my gosh, like these guys are huge.
Yeah.
That might add a little bit to do with it too.
Ainge would get drafted and play 3 seasons with the Toronto Blue Jays, becoming the youngest Blue Jay ever to hit a home run at 20 years old. At the same time, he played college basketball at BYU, winning the Wooden Award for Best College Basketball Player in 1981.
Hard hit ball, line drive. Danny Ainge grabs it, throws to second base, not a double play, no. Danny Ainge takes the line drive, and his basketball playing stood him in good stead. He leaped up in the air like he was going for rebounds.
5 seconds. Inside. Ainge scores with 2 seconds. 1 second on the clock. It is all over. It is all over. It's lost by Notre Dame. And the hero's banner goes to Danny Ainge. Frank Arnold and Brigham Young have won this glamour game.
Jordan would also try his hand at baseball after his father's murder, never making it past AAA before returning to the NBA.
One may score, racing for the plate. Michael Jordan has tied up the ball game with a ground double to left. What a day for Michael Jordan!
During their NBA rivalry, Ainge would match Jordan's 6 finals appearances, winning 2 championships early with Boston at Jordan's expense.
One man beat the Lakers, or do you need a more diversified attack today?
Well, we're playing the Boston Celtics, Pat, but I think it's going to be more of a 5-man game, and we really have to play a complete basketball game. I don't think one man can beat the Boston Celtics.
It's hard to imagine that 6 weeks ago you were sitting on the bench.
Yes, it is. It's very hard for me to imagine. I'm very happy I'm playing now, and I'm very happy that I can contribute to the team.
All right, thank you. Good luck today. You don't have to remind me again that you are playing the Boston Celtics. Air Jordan's getting ready to take off. The problem is the runway is in Boston, so strap yourselves in. This is the NBA on CBS.
Even sweeping Jordan in 1986 en route to a championship.
Lead by 2, and this is a critical possession. How many times have we said that? 10 on the clock. Bird, pick and roll, parry.
On how to play Michael Jordan.
Foul him and hope someone else can come in and do the job.
But what was the relationship between Jordan and Ainge? Was it just the fiery fights we saw during the finals?
Michael with the left elbow into Ainge's midsection. There they felt he traveled. Ainge feels the pressure, thinks his teammate's going to float to the right sideline in front of the Bulls bench, but nobody's there. Now Michael's talking to him, letting him know that the pressure's going to get worse. Ainge will take it so far.
We learned years later that there was much more to the relationship than either let on, with Ainge admitting the relationship was different than any other from his career.
Danny gets mad, grabs the ball. Michael, they're just exchanging right now.
We played a lot of golf over the years. Michael was obviously He's the best player of every series he's ever played in his whole career, and that's what separates him from so many of the other great ones.
Michael, as you know, is one competitive son of a gun, and but I did, and I think this is the only time in my career that I ever even had dinner, lunch, did anything with an opponent throughout my whole career, especially in the playoffs. But with Michael loved golf and I loved golf, and he reached out and wanted to know where he could find a golf course and maybe get on a golf course to play in Boston on their 2 off days. So I think we arranged to play 36 at Framingham Country Club.
I'd played golf with Michael the day before. It was Michael, Danny, Mike Carey, and myself. And Michael and Danny are giving it to each other back and forth. Play golf with Danny Ainge.
Dude, I cannot hit it today.
I took a few bucks off of Michael that day, and we're talking trash to each other. That might have been a mistake.
Get it out. Piss me off, man.
We get down, we get in the car, we drop Danny off first, and Michael says, hey, tell your boy DJ I got something for him tomorrow.
Jordan with 8 on the clock. Jordan ties the game.
Oh, boy.
63 points, and you're looking at an all-time record.
Oh, boy.
Michael Jordan.
That was a fantastic move.
Our Miller Lite most valuable player of the game is Michael Jordan with an all-time record 63 points in a single playoff game.
Fast forward to the Dream Team, and Michael, I remember playing 36 holes with him on the day of exhibition games by the Dream Team in Portland, Oregon. And he played 36 holes of golf and then went out and scored 35 points and pressured the guy he was guarding the entire day. And it was like 100 degrees outside or 95 degrees outside in Oregon when we were playing golf. I mean, Michael had, you know, an amazing motor and incredible stamina as well.
Jordan. Drive by Ainge.
Jordan would say this about Danny Ainge. I wish I had 4 Danny Ainges as teammates. With his desire and hustle, we'd never lose a game.
Ainge will get an easy basket.
After their playing careers, Jordan would go into ownership and in 2023 sold the Charlotte Hornets for an almost $3 billion profit. Ainge became a championship GM for the Boston Celtics and remains the president of the Utah Jazz. It is unclear if Jordan's exit from ownership will alleviate the competitive drive between the two that has lasted for over 40 years. But we doubt that.